I got her, I'll pass that around. I got her when I was going through a really bad divorce, and I moved out, and I hadn't been by myself since 1984. So all the kids were grown and gone, so it was a little bit traumatic. So I moved out in March, got my own apartment. By May, I was feeling a little lonely, so my friend suggested an animal. I've never had a little dog. I've always had big dogs. So I decided that I was going to get a little dog, and I went and I found me a little bed before I got the dog, because I already knew she was going to be small. I went to the SPCA. No luck the first weekend, but the second weekend, I found my precious little friend. Her name was Sonja. She was filthy dirty when I got her. I took her straight to PetSmart and got her groomed. She, sorry, I'm kind of nervous. So I picked her up after she was groomed, and she had little bows in her hair, and her head stood up high, and her tail was up high, and she was prancing like a little princess. So Sonja surely did not fit her name, so I named her Penelope. Penelope was a little princess. She was spoiled. She thought she was a human being. Eventually, later on down the road, I did buy her a stroller. People kind of looked at me a little nutty, but that was okay because we went shopping together. We even went to Folsom and ate at the Olive Garden. We would take the light rail, and she would be in her stroller, which she loved. She was in it before I could even set it up. We went down to Old Folsom a lot, where she got lots of admirers because she was spoiled and she loved attention. We even had our picture taken with Santa Claus. I had entered this contest with her, and I won this huge giant bed, which was for like the biggest dog you can ever have. But she loved that big bed, and she used to just plop right in the middle of that thing and put all her toys there. Eventually, later on down the road, I bought her some clothing. Well, she didn't really like the clothing too much, but I did, so I didn't really care. So this was her favorite little jacket. It's all furred. It was nice and warm during the winter time. Then my neighbors jumped in on the game and bought her more clothing.
That's funny.
So, this one was her first little dress that I bought her. And she looked so cute in this with her little bows from the groomer, which she loved going to the groomer. Except one time I took her to the groomer because it was so hot, and she was a long-haired Chihuahua. So I decided it was so hot for her, I just needed to shorten it up a little bit. So they did about this short. Boy, was she pissed off with me. She gave me the stink eye and did not talk to me for days because I cut all her hair off. But as soon as she realized how cool she was and the heat didn't bother her that much, she was in heaven, and I could get her shortened again. Her favorite little thing, though, during the wintertime was her raincoat, which if she moves, the tint changes picture. She loved this because she realized when it was raining that she got to stay dry. She didn't really like to get wet that much. We went to go get our family pictures taken with my two sons. Of course, Miss P was there with us. My kids were like, "Gosh, Mom, I am not getting my picture taken with your dog." I said, "But that's your sister." So you have to get a picture taken with Miss P is one of her aliases. She had many aliases, but Miss P was her favorite. Sometimes I called her Teletubby or Miss Piggy or Penelope Princess, but Miss P was her main alias. She just loved that name. Here's her in her little jacket that she had. She didn't really care for the clothes too much, so I stopped putting them on her. However, I still have them here. She was a spoiled little girl. She loved to go places with Mom. She would not let anybody else walk her if I was home. If my son came over and I said, Alan, take Miss P for a walk. He's like, come on, Mom, you know she's not going to go, but I would make him anyway. And they'd get right out the door and close the door, and she would look at him and plant her hiney on the ground and would not move. Even if you dragged her, she still stayed there because she wanted her mom. The only time anybody could walk her is if I was not at home. Other than that, she had to be with me. She loved riding in the vehicle with me. She would plant her little hiney right here on my leg and put one arm over here and the other one on the door. And she would stare out the window and smile at everybody walking by because she was proud because she got to be with her mom. Unfortunately, last year my little dog passed away. It was very hard for me because I wasn't expecting it at all. I took her to the vet. She was very sick. She had cancer, but nobody knew that she had it. And so I decided at that time that it would be best to put her down so she didn't have to suffer or pass away by herself. So I got to hold her as they injected the medication, and she quickly went. And I will truly miss my special little friend, Miss P.